Yo, 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 yo. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Thank y'all for tuning in today. Yes, sir. Oh man, I thought I didn't have the volume turned up, but I didn't have the sound turned up in my head, so I had to click back off. Man, thank y'all for tuning in to another DnL&x Fitness live stream show today. We got a good show lined up for you today. Today's Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Thank y'all for tuning in. Just to let y'all know, today we have a good show lined up for you today. We got to talk about some stuff that your boy has been revealed to, so you know I got to share it with you. With that being said, hopefully you're having a good day, getting closer to the hump day. But if you ain't having a good day, we're gonna let Mr. Child break it down to you.
Oh, you're having a bad day? Did you die? I got shot. But did you die?
And as long as you did not lose your life, yes, you are willing to, or not willing, but you are able to wake up and do something about your life and make a change and do something great with your life. So don't complain, just make a change and get to it. Yes. Whew. Your boy went and got his work in this morning, but let you know we are simultaneously streaming on YouTube, which if you're on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that like button when you see the thumbs up come up on your screen. Did it do it? Is it going to do it? Let's see. There it is right there. Yes, sir. Hit that like button to get the algorithm out. That'd be greatly appreciated. And we're on Kick, Twitch, and Rumble. If you're on any one of those platforms, give your boy a follow. Is greatly appreciated. Yes, sir. We are doing the damn thing today. And if you want to contribute to today's show, there's a Cash App and a Venmo. Cash App is Daniel2888. Venmo Danny-Daniel-00. That's where you can put your hate comments at. It'd be greatly appreciated. Go ahead and give your boy some hate, because you know, if you ain't nobody hating, you ain't doing nothing right. And with that being said, we're going to get into today's show. We got a nice little quick, straight to the point show we're going to give you today. We are going to go ahead and talk about a good old Islam, and is Islam in the Bible? Yes, sir. We're going to see if that is true, because I came across something and I want to share it with you. So we're going to see if the good old Islam, radical Islam, that is, because, you know, we got good Islam, but then we got some shitty ass crazy Islams in the building. So we're going to talk about the radical Islam that is mentioned in the Bible, and we're going to go and point out a few things that we see going on in today's world and into today's society that backs up that claim. Yes. And it's going to be an interesting one to see, because when you put all these things together, then you kind of look out into the world, you're going to be kind of looking around, and you're going to be like, well, I'll be damned. If this ain't really happening right now, I don't see how people can't see this, and these people are just doing this stuff right underneath our nose. But with that being said, we are going to check this stuff out, and we're going to see, and your boy's going to break it down to you like a fraction. Yes, he is. The boy's going to break it down to you like a fraction, and he's going to show you exactly how all of this works. But before we do, we're going to kick the show off for sure. We're going to kick the show off. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and get our sexy lady in here to bring us into the economy of the show, because this is where this kind of plays a part into. This actually plays into the economy. Believe it or not, this does play into like economics in a sense, because economics do play a part into it. It's like politics and economics and religion. We're going to pile into the economy portion of the show. So before we jump in, we're going to go ahead and let our sexy lady welcome us into the economy segment of the show. Come on, baby.
Welcome to the economy segment of the show. Enjoy.
There we go. Almost lost the freaking sign. I didn't know where the sign was. Where we at? Banner. Boom. Okay. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump into the show. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start off right. If you know anything about Islam is a very strict faith. You know what I mean? From what we know, Islam is a very, 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 very strict faith. It's really strict. They don't play around. Like, you convert to Islam, then it's like your local gang. The only way out is in a body bag type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Type shit, as Gen Z would say, type shit. So with that being said, if you're in like a radical Islam thing or a heavy Islam country, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to convert, you better like go somewhere else and convert, but you ain't finna like convert out of Islam in like an Islamic country. It's just not finna happen. Like, you ain't making it out like that. But to start this show off, We have a Christian lady who converted to Islam. Or better yet, let me say it correctly. A liberal Christian lady who has converted into Islam. All right. Wait. Let me say it into deeper context. We have a white woman who is a liberal Christian who has converted over to the good old religion of Islam. And I'm going to tell you right now, y'all can have this beach. I'm going to tell y'all right now, y'all can have her. Islam, you got a W for this one, all right? So shout out to Islam for converting a new member to their culture. Congratulations to you. You have a white liberal woman who has converted over and has left the Christian faith, and she has left the liberal white Christianism, and now she is over to Islam. And let's take a look at this lady and see the W that Islam has pulled on their side. So let's go ahead and pull up on the screen. Shout out to Islam for this W that they have received, and let's just listen to her speak and see what she has to say. Sweetheart, take it away.
If you are Muslim
He didn't say that.
Who's gonna tell her? Who's gonna tell her? Are you gonna tell her? Yeah. Hey, Islam. Yeah, y'all need to cut that stuff out, man. You know the gays and transgenders. You know they're people too. You know, love is love. Okay. All right, Islam. Love is love. Okay. You need to give the transgenders and gays a chance. I don't understand why you guys are so hard on them like this. You're not giving them their equal human rights. What is wrong with you people? Yeah. Back to what she was saying. W for Islam on this conversion, by the way.
But wait, there's more.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, yeah. Hey, Islam, you guys are a bunch of bigots if you are trying to harm those of, like love is love and you should know better. And by the way, this is a new thing. Like since when did Islam start persecuting people for like being gay or trans? Like Islam has never been a homophobe of faith. Like is Islam has always been a loving society, and for you to like want to throw a homophobe off the building is just like haram, as what she said. This is ridiculous. Like, what is wrong with you people? You people are crazy. I mean, even in the Bible, like God accepts gay people. I mean, it says it in there somewhere. If you just kind of like, go to the back in the glossary, it's in there somewhere. Is what I'm trying to say. And then, hear me out. Like she read it in the Quran that love is love, and that good old Muhammad and Allah, like they practice free love, and they're not homophobes. They allow heteros and homophobes in this to. You kind of get what I'm saying, right? But by the way, W for Islam for this white lady, liberal Christian, by the way. But let's let her continue because she has more to say. Ooh, bars. She told you. She told. Look at the peace sign. Look. Bars. She laid it on you, Islam. She laid it on you deep. Just in case you didn't know, in the Quran it says what it says, and I said what I said. Period. my goodness. It just to all you people in Islam who didn't read your Quran correctly, because clearly she just converted yesterday, so she know way more about it than you do. And she read it and she even recited it by quotation. She was like, hey, and this says this right here in quotes. Now, she didn't name the verse in the chapter, but you know, we're going to assume that she said it correctly, you know what I mean? Because she put the peace sign up on them boys. Look at that. Like, what you talking about, son? What you talking about, son? Yeah, look at that. Look at that, bro. Just in case you didn't know, there is no compulsion in Islam. White, liberal, Christian woman converting. Yeah, y'all better be ready over there. Hey, you can't hit her either. By the way, you can't hit her. You can't touch her. She's white, so she'll cry and she'll scream. She's never wrong. There's a list of things that you can't do because there's like this rule book that they have in their heads that they play by. So when she converted, the white liberal Christian in her converted as well. So now these new things that you have to go by in Islam are now put into place. So there's that. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, let's let her continue. Just a quick reminder. But shout out to Islam on this conversion. W Islam. Here we go. Continue. Like, really? Like, why would you do such a thing? That is such haram. Like who told you to push away people like that? Like, that is just complete bogus. Like, my gosh. Who do you think you are? Number one, you try to force your religion, but then not only do you force your religion, you try to tell people who they can and cannot be. Like, what is a woman? Like, what is a woman? You know? Like, who are you? There's clearly more than one genders. It says that in the scripture somewhere. You just got to find it. I know it is. I seen it. Oh my good. Hey, who's going to tell her? Who's going to tell her? You know what? I got an idea. How about how about this? We start her a GoFundMe. And what we do for this GoFundMe is we send her to a very heavily populated, dominated Muslim country, right? And you know, let's raise up a good fee. Like, we'll pay for a plane ticket. We'll raise up like what, $10,000-$20,000 for the GoFundMe, right? And you know, we'll put her in a Muslim country and let her continue her lovely faith, but she should be allowed to continue to speak the way she does as she is here in this video. And then, you know, we'll let Muslims, you know, welcome her into the country with open arms. Oh my goodness. W Islam. Congratulations on your new conversion. Continue. What you she spoke in the language. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Right here. There are just as Muslims as you are. The LGBTQ, by the way, she's talking about. But hold on. She spoke in your language just to give you a confirmation, bro. Like, you people are insane. She just dropped a bar on Islam. W for your new conversion, man. Shout out to you guys for this new conversion y'all got to the squad. Shout out to Islam. Let's let her say that one more time. Bars. Oh my goodness.
He didn't say that. Tell me he didn't just say that.
Bars. I'm gonna tell you right now. I bet you I bet you everything I own. I bet you everything that I own she is in America talking like that. I bet you everything I own. She is in her American home talking just like that. Like, I'm just letting y'all know right now, she is not in a Muslim country speaking that way. She is in America talking that talk. She's like, before I make this video, let me make sure my door wasn't her door locked in the background.
If you were a Muslim.
Let me see. No, her door wasn't locked. See, that's how you know she was in America. See, look in the background. See, here's a little latch on the door thing. She ain't got the latch on the door. She was in a Muslim country. She had this lock. She had the top bolt lock. She had the bottom bolt lock. She had the door thing on the door thing lock. Yeah, she'd be locked in that house for sure. Granted, that wouldn't save her, but you know what I mean. She would make sure everything is locked. Hell, she wouldn't make the video if she in America for sure. She in America. But shout out to Muslim for y'all new recruit, man. I was just, hey, Islam, y'all got y'all a new recruit. White liberal Christians. Karen is in the building. Shout out to y'all. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. Yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know that in case you didn't know how things rock out there, she just wanted to give you a reminder that trans and homophobic people are part of the Quran, in case you guys forgot how things go over there. And she even spoke it in your language too. Like, my God, the nerve. That was intense. That was intense, boy. That was intense. Oh my goodness. So just in case you Islam, you forgot where you stand, your new recruit just informed you, reminding you what Allah says, in case you forgot, because you're supposed to include everyone, all the genders, including all the alphabets stolen from the other alphabet people. Yeah. You know, the LGBTQ and all the extra alphabets they steal, all their letters are included. And if not, it's haram. That's what she letting you know, in case you forgot how this works. Sheesh. Now, on another note, we're going to allow a real Muslim woman. She's going to explain how things really, really work. And I'm going to have to read this to you because she spoke it in the language all the way, because I don't think this lady knows English, which means she's speaking the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Help her Allah. So on the flip side, we got this lady here. She's going to say the Muslim Brotherhood TV host explains under what circumstances Christian girls can be raped. And Allah allows Muslims to allow Muslim men to rape non-Muslim women to humiliate them, as it says up here. And I got to read this to you because she's going to speak it in the original language. So I'm going to read it to you as she talks. And it says right here, it's like the selling of human organs and trafficking in freeborn humans today. I'm going to let her talk, but I got to read it at the same time. So here we go. But when Islam emerged, it put slavery into order. But limiting it to legitimate wars between Muslims and their enemies. If we fought Israel, which is plundering land, and is an aggressor against people and their faith. Obviously, it is impossible that we will fight Israel. Even though Surat al-Isra in the Quran foretells this. Oh, wow. And nothing is beyond the power of Allah. Female prisoners of war are those whom you own in order to humiliate them. That sounds like them Dubai trips. They've been practicing this already. That's them Dubai trips, them Dubai trips, where they be pissing and porta potting on them girls for like $20,000, $40,000 via consent. They become the property of the army commander or of a Muslim. And he can have sex with them just like he has sex with his wives. Some opportunists and extremists who only harm Islam say, I will bring a woman from East Asia as a slave girl under the status of those whom, whoops, I didn't see that part. Under the slave girl status of those whom you own. And with the consent of my wife, I will allocate this woman a room in the house and will have sex with her as a slave girl. This is nonsense. This is not prescribed by Islam at all. Islam says that a woman is either a wife or a slave girl. Legitimately owned slaves come from among prisoners from a war, which is waged against the Muslims. Well, there you have it there. She went ahead and broke that down to you on how that works. And she basically laid it out right here. She says this right here. It is this, that, what is it? The female prisoners of war are those whom you own. And then she said, in order to humiliate them. I mean, and it sounds like the women who get humiliated are the women who go to Dubai and get pissed and shitted on from, you know, sheiks and men over there. And that's by consent. So if they're treated and basically it says right here, non-Muslim women, it says Allah allows Muslim men to rape non-Muslim women to humiliate them. And those women who get porta pottied on in Dubai, you wonder, do they only get humiliated or do they get raped too, or graped too, whatever you want to say? Do they get, you know what I mean? Do they get both, or do they just get humiliated, or do they get, you know, graped too, but they can't speak on it because they wouldn't get the money? So they get, you know, defecated on plus graped. And if they speak on the grape, then, you know, they won't get the money. Because, I mean, this is already happening. What she's saying is already happening. It's just, it's in consent form for now. Maybe later on in the future, it'll get worse. But she made it clear, though. She did make it clear. She did make it clear. Let me find where she cleared it up. She said that this is nonsense. This is not prescribed by Islam at all. She made that clear. She's speaking on like radical Islam. And that's what I'm here to talk about today, is radical Islam. Radical Islam pushes things extremely too far. Radical Islam goes all the way. Like, they take it a whole, and it's kind of like liberal Christians. And you got radical Islams, and you got liberal Christian people. Like, they're like one and the same, except I really can't really tell you the difference. They both support each other. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, they both support Satanism. You know what I mean? Like, a liberal Christian woman is a feminist, aka a Satanist. I call feminism Satanism. It's the same thing. Feminism is Satanism. So a liberal Christian woman is a feminist. She's a Satanist at the end of the day. And then when you look at these radical Islam people, it seems like they're practicing Satanism because they spew lies and deceit and everything, and they do everything against what is of moral character. And to dive deeper into that, we'll take a look at that here in a second. Like what we have right here, we have this guy who, let me see, where's this guy at? Where are you? Let me find you. Because I have you here on my thing. I just got to find everybody. I don't have anything in order. Here it goes right here. This guy speaks on it right here. He speaks on why radical Muslims consistently align with and vote for the left. And they see liberals as naive and easily manipulated. In contrast, they fear conservatives who stand firm principles and are much harder to influence. So let's hear what this guy breaks down what a radical Muslim is, like I said. And then we'll go ahead and break it down and see what it is into further element. But let's check him out and see what he breaks down to what a radical Muslim is. And like I say, well, we have liberal Christians, which are feminists, which are just Satanists in disguise. Here we go. Now, speaking of this particular individual right here, and he laid it down very clearly. He laid that down very proper. He was like, look, it don't matter what we say or what we do. We finna support these left liberal minded people to push forth this agenda of the stuff that we don't do, because we're basically going for conquering and world domination. That's what we're going to do. We're trying to push for domination. We're trying to conquer things. And what's crazy is that he mentioned her. He said Ilham Omar. He said her. She's doing the same thing right now. And it's crazy because we're seeing her do this shit in like real time. She's really doing this in real time right now. And we can actually point out and show her doing such thing in, what is it, Minnesota, where she's actually out here pushing things to the limit. And she's like on the streets doing this, bro. She's not just like halfway doing it. She's going all the way. And she's whoops. And she's out here like at this point, she's in, is it Minneapolis or Minnesota? Same thing. She's at this point, she's inciting riots, and she's fighting against the federal government with what she's been doing. And we're going to take a look at a video right here just to show you how far that this lady is taking it. And we're going to go ahead and point back to see how this ties in with the Bible. And all of this makes sense. And you can't say that one side is better than the other. The right is better than the left, and the left is bad and the right is good, because they both the wings of the same bird. So I'm not like letting one off the hook, but I'm just showing you and trying to point to you how Islam, in a sense, can be portrayed in the Bible, in a sense, and how we can see this happening in real time. So let's go ahead and take a look and see how Elam out here is acting a plumb fool on the streets of Minnesota, inciting riots. Here we go. Oh, wait. Here's this guy, too. Shout out to Cash Jordan. But check this out. Oh, my goodness. They just hit me with an ad twice a row and that quick. That was super fast. Let me go ahead and get past this ad. But as you can see, she's out on the streets right now in Minnesota, and she's inciting riots. And the crazy part about it is it's already been a known fact that not only is she inciting riots, but the people that are out there doing these riots have been admitting that they're paid to be rioters, to, push this agenda. And again, like I said, there's your white liberal woman right there. There's one, there's two. And then you got your radical Islam. So you got your white liberal, they both might be Christians, but they Satanists, along with this radical Islam, which she's a Satanist as well. And they're all pushing for this same agenda. It doesn't matter what religion they are. The religion is just a front. They are all pushing forward the Satanism. It doesn't matter how you look at it. They all, and you can just see it in their faces. The eyes don't lie, Chico. And if you're American, you already know what kind of woman these is. And then she done came over here, done all sorts of kinds of God knows what. But, at the end of the day, America does have its dark stories in the background, so you can't give, you really can't, like, you go back and look at America's history and kind of see how things are going now, and you're kind of like, well, I mean, you do have a shitty past, America. I'll pull that up next. But let's go ahead and pay attention to this real quick. So as you can see, let me go ahead and let this video keep playing. Just a little bit of look at how Ilhan Omar is pushing forward an agenda, but rocking with the very people that she would probably kill when time came to it if they're pushing forward transgenders or any kind of homosexuality or abortion. She would, her religion, her position would kill these people. Exactly. These people think that they're all playing for the same cause. I mean, in a sense, I guess you could say that they are playing for the same cause in a sense. If you want to go for Satanism, yes, they're playing for the same agenda for Satanism. But as far as like her religion goes, her religion, the way they think, their religion is going to be the dominant force. So all these people that are gay, trans, abortionist, they don't have if they're atheists and don't believe in any religion whatsoever, like she gonna turn around and just lay the smackdown on these fools once they once like her group comes into power. Like everything good now, like you cheering on her side now, but her religion, her mindset is construed to a way that like she's not gonna go against her people. She's like, all right, y'all did y'all's part. Now it's time for y'all to convert. And if y'all don't want to convert, well, you're gonna have to face the wrath. You know what I mean? And you know, she has a history of, I guess you could say, set agenda. She was brought under a father that was a no bullshit dude. You know what I mean? Like her father was a no BS person. There's a whole article written on her about her father and how he basically like genocided the a good portion of his own Somali community. You know what I mean? There's a whole thing written on that, which I did a report on that already, or I did a live stream on that already, speaking on, you know, her dad who did things like that and was basically a genocide to the Somali community. So she has that war tactic in her. It's just that she's a woman, so the war tactic is gonna look different. Cause the war is she's coming from another country and she's performing the genocide as opposed to doing it on her own land. So the war tactic has to be different. You know what I mean? Has to be a different way of attacking. You can't do the same thing that her father did back home. You can't just go out, grab a bunch of weapons or whatever and just go straight barbarian out there. No, she's doing it from a woman attack standpoint. Go in, get educated, play the rules, play the game, and then do the woman, the female way of fighting, which is manipulating, gaslighting, lying, using, word trickery and word salad and trying to all of that way of female fighting and female manipulation. But the outcome of it all will be somewhat the same. Maybe not genociding her own people, but conquering the land the same way in which the way her father did, just from a different perspective or a different angle. But let's let them keep going just a little bit. Let me actually hear her speak, because she actually did lay some words down. But just listen to her speak, and you can just see that she's here to conquer, and she's doing her thing. I give it to her. She's here to conquer. She out here conquering, which is going to play into a role of understanding the role of Islam in the Bible, which I'll show you here in a minute. But let's continue. Check this out. So as you can see, she's good at talking that talk and talking that BS for sure. And then listen to her speak with these liberal women. Now here's my thing. When you see these women sitting here like this is one of my things, all right? Because this thing is actually pretty deep, all right? This shit can get really, really deep. Because then I always wonder, at some point, when do we know? Where's my thing? Let me find this thing real quick. When do we know that we're looking at something of this nature? You know what I mean? Like sometimes I have to sit back. sometimes I have to sit back and ask myself, like, yeah, we see all this stuff happening right in front of our face, but at what point do we know that we're looking at something like this? How do we know that these three women sitting in front of us on this TV screen right here, how do we not know that these three women, they're sitting here talking to us, but how do we not know that they're part of some shit like this? Like, take a look at this. You think there's a woman, right? No. It's a whole damn face mask this motherfucker's got on, bruh. Look at that. She's peeling it off for you so you can see she has on a face mask. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this dude. You thought he was a dude? Nah, bruh. Whole mask done came off. How you know who's who? And look, they're pointing out other people that got these little crazy ass face masks on. It's always the people in suits usually, or like in some kind of agenda or something being pushed forward. You know what I mean? They're pointing out that these people wear these kind of masks. How do we know who's who? How do we know what situation is being played out in front of us? How do we know that this is even them talking? Like, how do we know? Like, look, it goes as far as even to show this old ass lady right here. I don't know if she's like a Rothschild or a Rockefeller or whoever, Prince Harry or Prince something of the royal family, whatever that shit is. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you see them wearing these masks, and they just showed you with the mask and how it looks when it comes off. How do we know if these people are not wearing these masks? How do we know? We don't know. But what we do know is an agenda is being pushed. That's what we do know. It doesn't matter what religion you are or anything like that. We know a whole agenda is being pushed. It don't matter if you're left, don't matter if you're right, don't matter if you're orange, yellow, green, blue, black. It doesn't matter. How do we even know that these people are who we're looking at? These people could be very well wearing a damn mask because their agendas are all the same. They all got the same agenda. Even if they're radical Islam, liberal Christian blue, hell, they could be conservative and be the same way. They could be Republican and be the same way. It don't matter. It's the actions that you pay attention to, not the words. Because remember, it's a stage play. It's a show. It's to keep you distracted. It's to keep you confused. It's to keep you in doubt. It's to keep you in fear. That's the playbook of the devil. That's the playbook of Satan at the end of the day. And you have to be able to see this shit and how they try to spin it. And understand they got a bunch of decisive tactics. They have a bunch of decisive tactics, as I just showed you. They wear a whole fucking mask. Whole face mask, bruh. Whole face mask on the face. And you wouldn't even know because they got so much money to put into these masks. They got time to implement these masks. They could rehearse these things over and over, use camera tricks with the mask on so you can not know. Because think about the movies that we see. You know what I mean? The movies are like you won't know who's who in the movie with all the makeup and all the stuff that they got. So if they want to put a face mask on somebody's face like that, how would we know who's who and who's not? We seriously wouldn't know. But anyway, as we go on further, this is where I want to come into context with you to try to get you to understand this. Oh, and before we get into that, let me just do one more thing. You remember this girl right here, right? This girl right here. Remember I showed her earlier, where Islam, where they gained their where they gained their conversion, right? This chick right here, all right. Remember what she was talking about, okay? Now she's talking about, Islam needs to support gays and transgenders and blah 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 blah. Now let me show you a video of how Islam gets down, or at least in the Muslim country, how they get down from an Islamist point of view. Because remember, this dude right here. Oh crap, where'd you go, buddy? I just had you. This dude right here spoke on you, and he spoke on you. This guy spoke early and said when he used to be a radical extremist, or a radical extremist Islamist, as it says it right here, an extremist Islamist. He used to be one. He spoke on it. Now, let's take a look on how punishments are handed out in a Islamist extremist country. I got a short video, it's about a minute long. Let's take a look at how punishments are handed out in a Islamist extremist country. Let's take a look. Here we go.
Found the men guilty.
Found them guilty. Amputations took place shortly afterwards. Now, remember, look, all these women are dressed the same. Now, do you believe that they chose this, or do they have a choice in this? And you have to understand, not all Islams are the same. You got radical Islam or extreme Islam or Islamists. You have like regular Islam people. Like, they're not all bad. You have, just like I say, Christians. You got your liberal Christians and you got your regular Christians. You know what I mean? You got different people of religions who follow principles. You got other ones that use it for political gain and power and corruption to dominate. But then when you look at how they carry themselves, they devils. But let's continue. Bro said, you can see the look on his face. You don't even have to understand what he's saying, but you can see the look on his face that he knows he can't say what he wants to say. He has to say what he has to say, or else his ass gonna end up getting a foot and chopped off and a leg chopped off too. Look, you can see it on his face that he can't say what he want to say. You can just read his facial expression, his body language. Like, just look. So yeah, there's your punishment for stuff that you do. And you got people like this who want to go over there and try to tell these people how they should rock. And I'd be wondering, it's like, do y'all know what you doing? Because these people are not going to play by any. Everybody's gonna get the business, is the way I see it at the end of the day. Like, it don't matter if you on their side or not. And again, it's not just the Islam. Like I say, a liberal Christian and a radical Christian, the way they carry themselves, they call themselves a religious group, but they're not. They're Satanists. They move like Satanists. There's no principle behind them. It's for political gain. They're using a religion for a position of power and corruption. That's what it is. And as you can see right here, we'll go ahead and tie this back to the Bible. So let's go ahead and tie this back to the Bible, like I said. All right, so where are we at? We got this gentleman right here. He put it into context pretty well. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then we're going to dive in deeper to show you, because you're going to use the book of Revelations, Revelation 6, where you speak on the four horsemen. Listen to how this dude breaks down Revelation 6, where you speak on the four horsemen, where they each had a role. You know, you had a white, red, black, and green. Pay attention to how he breaks this down and listen to what he says. And tell me, when you look around, you kind of, you can even take into context as what's happening in Minnesota as to what he's going to speak to you on in the Bible. The way he breaks down his four horsemen, you can look at Minnesota and think to yourself like, damn, if they do it in one place, they'll just be slowly able to move to different states, because all they got to do is spread out all their seeds. Because remember, they're using daycares. They go have sex with their peoples. You know what I mean? They populate with kids. In 10 years, an 8-year-old becomes 18 years old. In 10 years, from 8 years old to 18 years old, all them kids from an 8-year-old and in between. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. In 10 years, all those age of kids will be able to vote. So if they have that many kids and they're taking care of them in daycares and they're getting paid from the government to raise their children, You're getting sold out from within. America is selling you out because these people are increasing their voting power by raising children. They're being fruitful and multiplying, whether you like it or not. They're doing it. Americans are the ones on the decline, suffering from feminism. Americans are the ones suffering from a gender battle, a gender war. But they're coming in and they're populating like crazy. And they're doing God's work, at least when it comes to being fruitful and multiplying. And they're gonna outvote you at the voting box. And you can't fight it because that's how the system is designed, through a voting box. And they're showing that they're able to win a whole state over from what they did in one city, or excuse me, one state. If they get a hold of Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota is a state. If they get a hold of Minnesota, the state, all they got to do is just duplicate that process. And every 10 years, every decade, it's going to grow more and more because their kids keep growing and they're voting in a certain direction. And they got this daycare shit down pat. Because so far, I don't see it stopping. So far, until I see it stop, I can say something. But for right now, this daycare scheme that they got going on is a great idea as far as furthering the votes. They're going to keep furthering their votes because they're taking care of their children. They're raising their children. Once these children become 18, you know which way they voting. And they pushing these kids through, all sorts of colleges and getting them into certain positions. I mean, look at Ilhan Omar. She got in there somewhere, but America had to sell its own people out to get her ass in there. So again, there's a certain mindset that's being pushed around. Don't get confused of what the person looks like. You know what I mean? Just like good, evil don't have a face. It doesn't have a particular face. Because you know how the old saying goes, the path to heaven, the path to hell looks, don't quote me on this. The path to hell looks great, looks fabulous, looks beautiful. But the path to heaven looks, tough, rough, and daunting. So the path to hell looks like heaven, and the path to heaven looks like hell, is the best way to say it. Whenever you're going to heaven, it's like, it looks great and fantastic. But whenever you're going to heaven, it looks like straight shit. But on the path to hell, it looks just phenomenal. And what's crazy is we even taught this in the book. You're even taught that in the Bible. You could take it from the book of Genesis with Adam. He started out good, but he made a mistake. He had to go through hell just to get back to paradise. Jesus came on this earth, faced hell while he was here, just to get crucified, come back 3 days to be in paradise, or to pull everybody to paradise, I should say. The story gets regurgitated over and over and over in many different ways. And then every time you have the people of Israel, the people of the Bible, God's people, they follow on a straight and narrow path for a certain amount of time. Then they fall off and start following man. And then man becomes and then they follow the man's corrupt government system. The man corrupt government system enslaves them. And then they need to be saved again. It's just the same story over and over and over. As soon as Israel stops following God, which in this case, you can kind of look at America in a way as off pivot, no longer following God as much no more, as a whole. Like the poison of feminism has rotted Americans' core. You have a falling birth rate, a failing currency, which is all by plan and which is all by design, and it's all by cycles. It's just the economic cycle. When the economic cycle goes a certain way, then the ebbs and flows happen. Things go a certain way, and then people's minds start to think a certain way. Because the question is, when the economics are good, are you gonna still walk with God or not? When the economic times go bad, are you still going to walk with God or not? Because things are going to happen in those economic times. And the question is, where does your loyalty lie? But let's take a look at this video and see how this guy explains Revelation 6. So let me go ahead and pull this up for you. Here we go.
Has a theory about the end of the world in the book of Revelation, and it's honestly insane. Like it makes a whole lot of sense, and I have to know what you think. Please stay with me, and you'll get the main message at the end. The book of Revelation, especially the first four horses of the apocalypse. The question is, why these four? Why these colors? There is information contained in the colors. God is not trying to confuse us, and He's not just throwing colors out there. There must be a rational justification for why He picked these four. Take a look at your screen. What do you see? Here's the symbol, the national symbol of next door neighbor to Israel, Jordan. What colors do you see? Can you help me here? White, red, black, and green. And then if you go next door, inside the territory of Israel, there is the Palestinian, symbolized by that flag. What colors do you see on the national flag of Sudan? Let's go to Kuwait. Let's go to the United Arab Emirates. What colors do you see? All right, well, let's just go to Libya because it could just be coincidence here. Okay, let's go to Afghanistan. What do you see? Let's go to Syria. What do you see? Let's go to Iraq. What do you see? But what does that mean? Watch this. Every single one of those countries is strongly dominated by Islam. Muslims. Islam is the masterpiece of Satan. Coincidence? This man has a theory.
Broke it down like a fraction. As you can see, now again, like I say, it's not going to be all Islams are bad. However, I mean, you can't help but like not notice these striking, eerie similarities. How come all the flags have the same color as the four horsemen in the Bible? And then all of them have a similar religion that they're enforced under. They all have a similar religion that they're enforced under. And I don't believe in coincidence. You know what I mean? And some of those countries were probably not like that by choice, but ended up being that way. Excuse me. So when we look into it, let's go ahead and look at the scripture right here. Revelation 6, the seals. Because I watched as the Lamb opened the first 7 seals, heard one of the 4 living creatures say in a voice like thunder, "Come." I looked, before me there was a white horse. Its rider held a bow, and he was given a crown, and he rode out as a conqueror built on conquest. All right, so where did we see a conqueror built on conquest? Right here. My opinion. This is my humble opinion. Right here. Conqueror built on conquest. Her. Some could even say Trump. Like we see conquerors built on conquest. You can say her, you can say her, you can say her. You could say Trump. You could say, Putin. You could say all these people. You could say that conquerors built on conquest. What is their end goal? What is their end agenda? Because it's a big stage play for all of us to watch. It's a big stage play for all of us to watch. You try to figure out who's good and who's bad, but at the end of the day, they're both pushing towards the same agenda, regardless of who's good and who's bad. Kind of like Cypher in the Matrix. Remember Cypher in the Matrix, the bald-headed dude? In the very first Matrix, Cypher, the bald-headed dude, he played on the side of the good guys, but he was the traitor of the good guys because he wanted to live in the Matrix, but he was living outside of the Matrix with them, but he was also double-crossing in the Matrix, talking to those people, letting them know, like, I want to be here. Like, fuck being out here with them. I don't like how they're living. I don't like being on their side, but I will be a traitor and chill with them and bring them to you in the meantime. But I'm on your side, pretending like I'm on their side. It's just like Cypher in the Matrix. He was a traitor, which is what we see. Which is what we see. These white liberal women. I mean, they potentially could be Americans, traitors. But it's still a stage show. Okay, it's still a stage show. Then it has this right here. Then when the Lamb opened the second seal, I heard a second living creature saying, "Come," and then another horse came out. This was a fiery red one. Its rider was given the power to take peace from the earth and to make people kill each other. To him was giving a large sword. All right, so to take peace, given the power to take peace from the earth and to make people kill each other. Does it look like we're getting ready to see that happen, or is that already happening now? I'll let you be the judge on that one. You be the judge on that, on what you think about that. Do you think, the power has already been taken to take peace away from earth and people are already made to kill each other now? Do you think we're already at that point? Because I mean, I can tell you right now, we're already here at this white horse for sure. The conquer, bent on conquest, we're already here now. So what do you think about this red horse? Do you think we're there already? I'll let you make that decision. Then the Lamb opened the third seal, and I heard the third living creature say, "Come." I looked, and there before was a black horse. His riding was holding a pair of scales in his hand. And then I heard it sounded like a voice among the four living creatures saying, 2 pounds of wheat for a day's wages, and 6 pounds of barley for a day's wages, and do not damage the oil and the wine. Now, some people who study economics really hard, and I'm not going to say any economists, but some people who have common sense and have lived through economic cycles, they'll sit here and tell you for sure. They'll be like, if you really read that correctly, what does that sound like to you? 2 pounds of wheat for a day's wage. That's inflation. That's describing hyperinflation. That's an inflated economy. If you have any wheat in your house right now, bread, powder, whatever kind of wheat you have, take 2 pounds of wheat, put that shit on a scale, and ask yourself, would you work a whole day's wage for 2 pounds of wheat? And if you did have to work a whole day for 2 pounds of wheat, that means that your money is devalued. That's what that's telling you. That's breaking down inflation, hyperinflation. 2 pounds of wheat for a day's wage, 6 pounds of barley for a day's wage. I mean, let me see if I can find this for you. Let's see. A pound, no, we'll just say 2. 2 pounds of wheat. Let's see what 2 pounds of wheat look like. Do we have an image of 2 pounds of wheat? I would like to see what 2 pounds of wheat look like. Let's pull an image up of 2 pounds of wheat. 2 pound wheat berry bag. Let's see, 2 pounds wheat flour. Here we go. Right here. 2 pounds of wheat flour right here. Here we have, it says net weight 2 pounds. Ingredients, sifted wheat flour. First of all, what the hell are you going to do with wheat flour? And this is a day's wage. A day's wage will get you 2 pounds of this. A day's wage. Think about that. Think about that. That is inflation, is what the Bible is describing. Let's see if I can show you in a different view. Right here. 2 pounds. 2 pounds of wheat. You work a whole day's wage. And who's to say what a whole day's work is? Because I'm pretty sure if you're in a really shitty society where they're enslaving you to death, I'm pretty sure like that's guaranteed 12 hours minimum. I would say a 12-hour work day minimum. So for 12 hours of work, this is what you get. 12 hours of work. That the Bible is describing inflation. That's what that's describing. Let's move on to the next one. Then when the Lamb opened the fourth seal, I heard a voice of the fourth living creature saying, "Come." I looked, and there before me was a pale horse. Its rider was named Death, and Hades was following close behind him. Hell, for those who don't know what Hades is. They were giving power over a fourth of the earth to kill by the sword, famine, and plague, and by the wild beast of the earth. Now, I don't know if we're here under famine and plague yet by the wild beasts of the earth, which I'm pretty sure we already are. You just have to kind of do some research and see it. But to be given the power over a fourth of the earth, a fourth of the earth. So in a world of, let's say the world has 8 billion people in it. 2, 4, 6, 8. A fourth is going to be 2 billion people. By famine and plague, by starvation and by sickness. And I just read to you, I just did a stream the other day to you where the CDC basically told you that they'll give you a drug to where your HIV won't become detectable on test. And since your HIV is not considered detectable on test, you cannot transmit HIV through sex. I'm like, bruh, that is the biggest crock of shit I'd have never heard in my life. I don't care how modern you get. I am no damn fool. And I read that to you off the CDC website that day when I did that live stream. It said it right there. I read it to you, cut shorts on it and everything. Now, that's to me, that's just a form of a plague. But I mean, we got famines across the world. We already know this. But the question is, how bad is it? You know what I mean? How bad? Because I think for sure, if you go by American, if we take this right here and look at this under the American lifestyle, look at this as North America. North America, I say for sure we're seeing this. I think Elon Omar and all of the other people that's backing her and that's behind her, like the Americans that are selling out America and all those people, like the judges, the politicians, the senators, her and her, this conquer and conquests. I believe that we're here at this part right now because they're coming in and they're utilizing Muslims to conquer and conquest America. And you got the Americans selling out Americans, politicians, all the corrupt people are selling out America right here. Then from here, you have the power to take peace from the earth and to make people kill each other. At some point, if they keep conquering America, if they take Minnesota and then they move on and try to take on another state and another state and another state, it's only a matter of time before people fight back. And then you're going to have people killing each other in North America. Because now they're going to be fighting against each other, trying to fight from being conquered and conquested. If that's right, if I said that correctly. You know what I mean? And then as time goes on, Donald Trump is going in and he's, how do I say it? Like right now, the stuff that he's doing, he's postponing the inevitable, which is a economic collapse. Everybody sees the dollar is weakening day by day by day. So the stuff that he's doing is slowing down the process. Like Donald Trump is, in my humble opinion, he's slowing down the inevitable hyperinflation. Because you see the price of eggs going up, gold and silver is going up, the stock market is at an all-time high. All these things are showing you a weakening dollar. The price of groceries keep going up, stocks keep going up, commodities keep going up. People think their stocks are doing better, but your dollar is just getting weaker. Because if the price of groceries keep going up, then that means that the stocks are going to go up because the price of groceries are going up. Like, think about it like that. If the groceries are going up and people are still buying groceries, and then on top of that, you got fraud out of the ass. You got fraud, not just the Somalian people or whatever, but everybody's doing fraud. They had a German or Russian woman who got caught for doing fraud for years. She was doing fraud for years, just like the Somalians have been doing this shit for decades. Like, this fraud has been going on for forever. The Democrats have been doing fraud forever. Pretty sure the Republicans have too. But this fraud that's been going on, and the government is sitting here paying people to do fraud. And then you got somebody who has so much money that they're paying these people to protest in the streets of Minnesota. So these people are getting money to protest, but they're also using their money to pay their bills, to go buy groceries, to do all this shit. So where's all this money coming from that's still pushing up the high prices? People are still able to live a life pushing up high prices. So then therefore stocks are still going to go up. But then understanding the dollar is being devaluated, so commodities are going up. So that right there is explaining this right here. So we're seeing this. And then here, I don't think we're at the famine and plague yet. For the fourth horseman, I don't think we're here in America. We're not at the famine and plague yet. We're not here yet. I don't think we're here yet. I think this is happening right now, in my humble opinion. And then once this keeps happening with the Muslim people conquering each part of America, because they're in New York, they're in Minnesota, they're in Texas, and, Americans are selling out Americans. So You have all that going on, and then once it keeps going on, I think that people are going to start killing each other because they're going to be fighting back against these people who are trying to conquer the land. So we're going to see these two things happen here shortly, but at the same time, I think this is going to also happen simultaneously with this. That's what I think. So, you know, so to me, the famine could also be intertwined with inflation, because I don't think the famine is going to be a loss for food. I don't think that. No, people are going to be starving. There's going to be no food. No, there's going to be food. I just think the famine is that people are going to be starving because of inflation, hyperinflation. Food's going to be on the table. Food's going to be in the shelf. Food's going to be in the grocery store. The grocery shelves are going to be packed with food, but it's not that people can't it's not that the food is running out. It's that people can't afford the food due to inflation. That's how I see it. So when you look at all this stuff, it shows you right here that it explains the color of Islam. You have white, red, green, and black. It describes the color of the flag. Now, this guy right here, which I showed him the other day on the video, but I'm going to let him explain. And he explains one of his neighbors. He says his neighbor is from Somalia. And he's going to explain the mindset of his neighbor from Somalia and how they think. Which is going to basically, in a sense, what he's going to explain is basically going to solidify in a way what this guy is saying. It's going to solidify what he is saying in a sense. But listen to what he said about his Somali friend and how they feel about coming over to the U.S. and doing what they're doing. Here we go. Okay, now, if you listen to what he said that they don't understand what the issue is. Well, if you read it right here, I mean, if you read it right here, it kind of tells you they're doing what they're scripted to do. They're just doing what they're scripted to do. Right here. It's like, look, they just running through the script. It's like, hey, I don't get why y'all so upset. Like, we just running the script. I don't see what the problem is. Like, why y'all so mad? We're just going through the script, and this is how it's supposed to be. Now, if you paid attention to one thing that he did say, it was one important thing that he did say, and he did say this. I want you to hear him out again when he says it.
And whenever war.
Right here. Listen to what now he was specific in who the Somalians were talking about. Pay attention to this part right here. He's very specific because He's talking about his Somali neighbor that he was talking to. They broke down to him about how they feel about what they're doing. They don't see nothing wrong with stealing. Listen to who he's talking about, who the Somalis are talking about. Being specific. Just listen. I'm gonna play it again, but listen. Here we go.
Spoils.
Dang it, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Let me go back. God dang it. I did not mean to hit that button. Let me go back. Where we at?
Yeah, Somalia.
All right, I'm gonna play it again, and I'm gonna stop it when he gets to what he's talking about. Okay. All right. So here we go. Listen.
His neighbors. And I asked him about this whole Somalian fraud that's going on in Minnesota. And one of the guys explained it to me this way. He said back in Somalia, a lot of them come from clans. And Muslims have this thing where their spoils, even their Prophet Muhammad, whatever, he would go out and plunder people, and the spoils of war would be considered rightfully theirs. And whenever they would go to a place and they would subjugate the non-believers, they would put a tax on it. So he's like, the Somalians believe in Minnesota, their plunder is rightfully theirs, and it's just a tax that the white people are paying for the Somalians.
He said there's a tax that the white people are paying for the Somalians. He said non-believers, but he also said white people. He could have kept using the terminology non-believers the entire time, but he didn't. He specifically, for some odd reason, said white people. And that right, and whenever you see it that way, you kind of think like he started out with non-believers paying the tax. Then he said the white people. And it's like, But then, you know, you kind of have to think in the history of America, when it comes to, you know, how black people have been treated in America, it hasn't been 100% fair. And everybody knows that. It's so bad, it's a running joke. It is. It's a running joke at this point. Everybody knows that black people are treated unfairly. It's not a secret. It's not hidden. Everybody knows it. And, you know, some white people have even said it far enough as they're afraid to equal out the playing field with black people because they're afraid that black people will treat them the way that white people have treated blacks over the course of history. But I think now what's kind of happening is that the white people that sold out some of these the Americans that the white Americans that sold out some of these other Americans, they brought over some Somalians who look like black people, but black people don't associate themselves with Somalians, and Somalians don't associate themselves with black people. So now they're getting the treatment that they were afraid that the black people were going to give them from the Somalians. So now there's like a battle between the white people and the Somalians. But then when you look at the history of America, what they have, what they've done to black people, you can't ignore that part. Because he did say it. He made it clear. What the non-believers and what the white people are paying are taxes for the white people for the land. But when you look at the history that America has with white people, you cannot ignore that. You can't. And let me refresh your memory if you don't know of a history that America has with white people dealing with blacks. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. So when you look at that and you see that, you have to understand one thing. You should be able to see that this is a battle between two evils. You're just seeing that it's a battle between two evils. And you would need to be able to keep your eyes focused on what you're supposed to keep your eyes focused on. Because the two evils are up here fighting. God's people needs to know how to keep their eyes on God. Don't deviate from what you're supposed to be focusing on. Stay out of debt. Because if you're in debt to someone, you're enslaved to that person. The Bible teaches you that of being in debt to someone. If you're in debt to someone, you're enslaved to them. Stay out of debt. That was one of Israel's big problem in the Bible, being in debt. Stay out of debt. Come out of debt as much as you can. The Bible tells you to come out of Babylon. I would say you at some point you would have to find a way to get out of Babylon. That's my humble opinion. The Bible is showing you that there is a battle going on amongst the evils, and God's people need to be able to discern themselves and understand that they need to stay out of the way of evil fighting. At some point, yes, God's people will be tested, and you are going to be tested, but what you're going to be tested on is your faith. Are you going to be willing and able to lay down your life for what you believe in? Because the evil is going to do what evil do. But like it says in Proverbs 22:3, a prudent man foresees evil and hides himself. But a regular man sees evil and lets it pass on. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty close. So God's people needs to be able to see what is happening. It's telling you right here. You should be able to see it coming. You should be able to see and understand what's going on. And then operate yourself in God's order. And stay away from this feminist Satanism nonsense. Stay away from confusion. Stay away from, arguments and all that stuff that they got going on over there. Stay out of their political realm. They have a political agenda for power, corruption, and greed. You should be able to notice the difference and discern away from that bullshit that they're doing. You need to understand, how does God operate? Get yourself out of debt. Align yourself. Take care of your health. Know what the 7 deadly sins are and try to make sure that you get rid of every single one that you know that you're committing. Align yourself. Anything that you got out of whack that you don't have right with God, patch it up, fix it. And I speak to myself when I say this too. I ain't perfect. I had a kid. I have a child, and I didn't do it the right way, but it is what it is. Learn from your mistakes and line yourself up the correct way, and discern from all of this, because you are able to see it. These evils are fighting. It's about power. It's about corruption. And it's about a one world government trying to align and lock everybody in a satanic system where AI is reasoning under a satanic rule, which it says in the Bible that it will get everybody, rich and poor, big and small, everywhere across the world, will all be enslaved to the system. But you have to be willing to lay down your life. The same way the forefathers before us in the Bible did via the bloodline. That's why in the Gospel of Nicodemus, it speaks on that when Jesus was crucified on the cross, the 3 days whenever he died and resurrected, in those 3 days, the Gospel of Nicodemus speaks on him descending into hell to go get Adam. And then from Adam, everybody walked into paradise in order. Adam had to wait. Everybody got to wait. It is what it is. But at least you know where you stand. Hopefully you got something out of this today. And hopefully I broke that down to you in a good context. Because that's going to be it for today's show. Hopefully that made sense. Hopefully I was able to break that down to you in a good way to kind of show you kind of where everything stands and where everything is at. Because it's here, it's in front of us, it's a spiritual battle. You just got to wake up every day and put the work in and do what you got to do. It ain't going to be easy. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard, but just stay prayed up, meditate, focus on eating a healthy diet. Or as healthy as you possibly can, because I know shit's expensive, so it's not going to be easy to eat a healthy diet. But try to stay away from carbs, protein yourself up. If you're going to eat carbs, make sure you got a workout coming after that so you can burn off those carbs, utilize it, use it towards your body, get out of debt, do what you got to do. Sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do to get to where you want to be. It's just what it is. That's life. It's okay, but you know where your heart is. So with that being said, man, I will catch y'all later, man. We're going to be out of here. We'll see y'all tomorrow in the next video. So be safe, be good, take care of yourself. Make sure you go work out because like I work out all the time. So make sure you go work out and exercise, take care of your body. We'll see y'all tomorrow in the next video. Peace.
Thank you for watching D. Elliott Fitness live stream. Goodbye.
The game on lock and I got the keys like Jay-Z. My fame won't stop, they the only thing I'm chasing. The game on lock and I got the keys like Jay-Z. Don't wake no nigga in Austin, Texas, in the booth, slaying beats. I'd rather be in the studio than in jail or on the street. Talking the wrong, couldn't off your teeth. Got that one hit to quit and knock you off your feet. It's big on, baby, I'm obsolete. Pockets chunky like cottage cheese. Real nigga, I just gotta be. Smoking weed that don't gotta see. Used to be a hustler prodigy. I love when people say they proud of me. I'm eating good, smoking broccoli, taking over blocks like Monopoly. Only fuck the ones that's my policy. Most of these hoes trying to cause a scene. Like niggas mad they not on the team. See, I got bread, then buy the dream. The game on lock and I got the keys like Jay-Z. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on lock and I got the keys like Jay-Z. Don't wait no nigga in Austin, Texas, in the booth, playing beats. The game on lock and I got the keys like Jay-Z. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on lock and I got the keys like Jay-Z. Don't wait no nigga in Austin, Texas, in the booth, playing beats. Counting cash and smoking green, can me blow a cloud like a smoke machine. The bitch on my dick, she got no conceit. Bumblebee ass, yeah, I know it's thing. I plug your bitch like a 6-string. Jordan with the bitches got 6 rings. Smoke till my bitch a split screen. The first with pain pills and sipping lean. Riding dirty, but I'm extra clean. Lyrics nice, but I'm extra mean. All-star, heavyweight like Wolverine. The bitch learns like she open me. I flip money like Clover G. Game hustle like TIP. It's hard baby like DIG. Acronym like KRT. The game on lock and I got the keys like Jay-Z. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on lock and I got the keys like Jay-Z. Don't wait no nigga in Austin, Texas, in the booth, playing beats. The game on lock and I got the keys like Jay-Z. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on lock and I got the keys like Jay-Z. Don't wait no nigga in Austin, Texas, in the booth, playing beats. In the beats like RP, no hard shit with your artery. Cutting up, who sharp as me? Rolling up accordingly. Pulling hoes, no sorcery. Rapping like y'all forcing me. If I ain't right, then it's forgery. Nigga selling to the rock like a Flores beat. Lyrical monster on the Lord of beats. Text nigga, my bitch Georgia Peach. Pimp tight nigga, I do more than cheat. Cold like D-Wade, I ignore the heat. Bitch, I'm on the way, hit the short police. Money jumping like the nigga on the sneeze. Come to bad James, get me on the beat. Bitch, I'm always winning like what's the fee? The game on lock and I got the keys like Jay-Z. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game